The owner of the shop, Helena Anderson, for some reason was convinced that the essence of Tibetan philosophy lay in the little bells hanging on the doors. The moment they jingled, prosperity and well-being would reign in her small shop. Her understanding of the philosophy of the lamas did not go beyond that. However, the saleswomen, who had come from different corners of the country and settled to work in this little trading house, believed that the owner genuinely cared about their emotional well-being. The bells rang loudly enough to announce the arrival of a customer, but they sounded melodious and did not irritate the ear throughout the workday. And so the bell in the elite men's clothing store rang with a clear crystal chime, and a tall, stately man entered the salon. He immediately caused whispers among the saleswomen, including Emma, who, in her opinion, was already an adult, respectable man holding a high position in the city administration. The man immediately appealed to Emma. There was something primal about him, a sense of power and authority, what today would be called brutality. Emma involuntarily felt a desire to submit. At the same time, the man looked cultured and well-mannered. His clothes were expensive and tastefully chosen, and his posture was upright. Casting a quick glance at the group of saleswomen, he immediately addressed Emma. "Miss, can you help me?" Confidence was heard in his voice, without the slightest doubt that she would certainly help. His movements radiated authority, typical either of strong people or those very empowered. Emma began bringing him various shirts and ties to choose from. The man tried them on one after another, then the suit and the tie. "Well, how is it?" he asked. "Good," the girl answered, lowering her gaze. "But this shade will better emphasize your eyes." She pointed to a dark brown color. In the fitting room, where the customer did not take his eyes off her, a special intimate atmosphere arose. The closeness involuntarily brought together two completely unfamiliar people. When Emma handed or took things from him, the man casually touched her hand. Emma liked her game, her youth and natural beauty. That magic capable of driving a man crazy. He bought everything the girl suggested to him, paid, and left. Emma stayed in the store watching him go. Her heart stirred by this brief interaction with an interesting man. It seemed to her that she had always dreamed of having such a strong and mature man nearby. But the girl decided to keep her feelings in check and not show her colleagues her interest in Alexander. At the same time, she caught every little detail connected with him. The saleswomen often discussed customers, and someone always mentioned the name Muller in conversation. "That's Muller's driver," one would say. Another recalled. "Last year she was partying with Alexander Heinrich himself." Then curious colleagues would ask, "And then what happened?" "He dumped her," Emma replied ironically, as if to say there was no point in dreaming about it. All these little things Emma, almost without noticing, stored in a separate piggy bank in a corner of her memory. She continued to work diligently and professionally, giving no reason for gossip, but thoughts of Alexander did not leave her, about how he lived, what he did. Alexander Heinrich Muller himself had long been used to getting everything he wanted, so this time was no different. Seeing a beautiful young girl, he decided to take advantage of fate. He was absolutely sure that the attraction he felt toward Emma was merely a matter of his desire. In everyday life, Alexander had a wife, a daughter, and a steady mistress, typical attributes of a wealthy man who had already felt that much was under his control. His wife turned a blind eye to his escapades. A couple of times a year they went on vacation together with their daughter, and during that time he behaved like a model family man. But as soon as he returned from vacation, Alexander changed drastically. Or rather, he revealed his true face. However, this time something about Emma struck a chord in him. Thoughts about the young saleswoman did not leave him after one day, nor two, nor three. Finding out when Emma would be at work, he came back to the store and called her over. His casual touches, direct gaze into her eyes, and mysterious smile, the kind he was used to using to seduce women, repeated. While the girl helped Alexander choose a stylish look and a belt, he discreetly slipped a note into the pocket of her uniform. "Thank you for your help and all the best," he said, looking at Emma as he left. "See you soon. Please come again, we're always happy to see you in our store," she smiled, saying the standard business etiquette words to a good customer. She did not pay much attention to the phrase "see you soon," but immediately felt a flutter when Mahler appeared in the store's doorway. He was looking for someone with his eyes, and Emma understood it was her. She discovered the note with his name and phone number in the evening, changing before going home. At first, she didn't even realize what the paper was or how it ended up with her. Unfolding it, she saw the number and signature. "Alexander, call me," written in beautiful handwriting. But flirting with customers in the store could get her fired, and the job was important. Therefore, Emma did not give in to joy. She was smart and ambitious, unwilling to risk everything for a relationship with a stranger. She understood that a large difference in age and status could lead to problems. However, despite all her reasoning, she could not admit even to herself that she was impressed by this man. The note seemed to literally burn her fingers. The girl constantly took it out and reread it, imagining what could happen if she dared to call. "No," she told herself sternly. "Dreams are just dreams, but it's important to keep your feet on the ground." Emma grew up in a good family, where strictness and obedience were instilled. She always behaved with dignity. But now, to give up these fragile dreams was extremely difficult for her. She couldn't stop thinking about Roman Anderson and what he did in his life. Xenia understood that their relationship could be not only risky but practically impossible. She realized that Roman was unlikely to enter into a serious relationship, and his interest in her was probably superficial. Despite this, the girl from Undervallen kept the budding interest in this man inside herself, without revealing her thoughts or feelings. Xenia understood that love doesn't always come where you expect it, and you have to be ready for it to pass by. She hesitated. On the one hand, she really liked Roman, on the other, it all seemed wrong. The girl knew that if at work they found out she had started communicating with a client, she could be fired. Especially considering that Roman was married, this Xenia knew for sure. She spent several days thinking and still couldn't decide to call him first. But soon, a call came to her phone from an unknown number. "I asked you to call me yourself," came a demanding male voice. "Hello? Who's speaking?" she asked, turning pale with fear inside. She immediately recognized Walker's voice but could not admit it. "Do men call you so often that you can't recognize their voices?" he sneered. "No, not often." Xenia tried to stay calm. "It's just that you suddenly called yourself. How long could I wait for your call?" he said, almost offended. "I'm not used to waiting." What a deep voice he has, the girl thought, holding her breath. Such a velvety voice. "Xenia, can you hear me?" he asked impatiently. Yes, I'm listening," she answered. "I was embarrassed to call you myself. Then come to the restaurant on the square downtown at 7 o'clock today. You know where it is. I'll be waiting for you," he ordered. Then the sound of the call ending. Xenia was confused. Roman didn't even ask if she would come. He was sure she would because women ran to him whenever he beckoned. The girl was a little afraid of his demanding tone. He gave an order and was confident that her desire would be unconditional, without even asking for her consent. She understood that meeting Roman could be dangerous, and that she risked her job if her superiors found out about her communication with the client. But the desire to find out what he wanted was stronger. After long agonizing thoughts, she decided to go, at least to clarify something. Xenia arrived at the restaurant exactly on time. Approaching the receptionist, she said, "Good evening. Roman Anderson is expecting me." The receptionist smiled warmly. "Welcome. Yes, he warned that you would come soon. Let me show you." They led Xenia to a cozy private room, and the receptionist tactfully stayed outside. Xenia entered uncertainly. Roman was already comfortably seated at the laid table. He was sitting alone, eating with appetite. "Good evening," she said quietly. "Sit down." Roman motioned to the chair next to him. Xenia approached and sat on the edge of the chair, silently waiting for what would come next. She didn't know how to behave or what to say. Deep down she regretted coming but understood. There was no way back, no escape. "You are very beautiful and I want you," he said simply and without embarrassment, not taking his eyes off Xenia. The girl was stunned. She didn't expect such a confession but decided not to show embarrassment and did not look away. Roman left his food and continued. "I liked you from the first meeting. I want to be with you." Xenia's eyes widened. She didn't know how to react to these words. She remained sitting silently and motionless. "I have a proposal for you, but don't scream or refuse right away." He paced around the room, hands in pockets, then stopped behind her back. The girl couldn't see his face, and it felt unpleasant to feel his presence so close. "I propose you become my mistress. I will fully provide for you. You won't have to worry about money or work. You can leave your affairs, have fun when I'm not around, and greet me with a smile and a good mood. I don't know yet when exactly I will come, but I will definitely call and warn you. You won't regret agreeing." Xenia blushed. Her cheeks were burning with fire. She was silent for a minute, unable to express indignation but finally shouted, "Are you crazy? You're offering me to become your kept woman? How can you? What's so special about what I offered?" Roman Anderson was surprised. Any girl in your place would be glad of such a carefree life. "You know what, Roman Anderson?" Xenia hissed angrily. "Let those who are used to an easy life agree, but I have to earn my own bread. I thought you were a respectable, wealthy and influential man, but none of that matters. I was taught that above all, a person must be decent." She rushed to the door, but he gently grabbed her by the shoulders and smiled. "Well, why are you so scared? What's wrong with my offer? It's purely a business agreement. In exchange for certain services, I offer a decent reward, that's all. Let me go, I don't want to listen to you." Xenia tried to leave, but he hugged her and didn't let go. Roman Anderson was surprised by her reaction. He didn't expect refusal. Another woman would have been delighted. "Then why did you come here?" he asked. "Don't tell me you didn't understand why I'm interested. I offered a mutually beneficial cooperation. Think about it and don't refuse." Xenia could no longer listen to this. She came hoping to spend an evening with a pleasant person, but he only wanted to buy her body. "I thought you were a well-mannered and decent person. I came to talk and spend the evening in conversation, but you just want to buy me. You treat people like goods where only the price matters. I wonder how much you value yourself," she asked. The man silently looked, admiring her indignant face, burning eyes and flaming cheeks. He was surprised at how boldly she dared speak to him, a simple saleswoman. "I dream that you never appear in my life again." Xenia finished her angry monologue and slammed the door loudly. Roman Anderson shook his head, smiling. He was sure that sooner or later she would agree. It was only a matter of time. But her courage and outburst of emotion surprised him and made him look at her differently. "However," he said, shaking his head again, "this time you're right." After the meeting, Xenia tried with all her might to return to normal life, trying to forget the unpleasant episode. But the words of this strong man kept ringing in her head. She thought about his offer, fantasizing. Although she understood it was wrong and shouldn't think about it, she could not control her thoughts and feelings, got confused in her emotions, and didn't know how to deal with it. Ksenia decided to talk to someone about her experiences. "Elena Smith, if you can keep secrets, I want to tell you something," she said to her friend on the way home, who had worked with her since the first days. "Don't," Elena Smith replied. "But if you want, you can vent. What do you suggest? You've tested me more than once. Go ahead, don't keep me waiting," Elena Smith encouraged. Ksenia was so nervous that she couldn't start right away, and pulled Elena Smith to a bench under the maple at the edge of the alley. "Do you remember when Walker came to us? You said he started coming often, buying suits every day." "Of course I remember," Elena Smith replied. "Such clients are rare, a valuable customer. What happened? Did he complain?" Ksenia laughed involuntarily. "Worse. He offered me to become his mistress. Can you imagine? Lying." Elena Smith gasped. "And what did you do?" "I told everything in detail, hiding nothing.